The Jets have lost out on Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. It sucks. But let's talk about it, right? Uh, First impressions are this is a great trade for both teams. I don't think Kansas City was ever going to pay Tyreek Hill the money that he got from Miami, the $30 million a year. I think I don't see how they can when you're paying Patrick Mahomes that amount of money. And as much as Tyreek Hill provides to that offense, we've seen the Chiefs win without Hill when Hill got hurt and things like that. So I don't think it's that. Losing a wide receiver one is always a big deal, but I don't think it's a massive, massive hole that's like, oh my gosh. They still have Kelsey. Now they have 2 first-round picks, and they can take a wide receiver in the top of the first. And now I'm looking at Olave to the Chiefs, and I'm thinking like that's like a match made in heaven. Jamison Williams there as well. You know, they provide a very similar skill set in the sense of the deep ball, shifty, fast as heck wide receivers that are going to come in and they're going to contribute. So that's the Kansas City Chiefs side of it. Let's talk about the AFC East side of it, specifically the Jets and Miami. Now, this one stings extra because we lost Hill to Miami, right? It sucks because it's like, I think our trade compensation and what we offer as a team is much better than what Miami has right now. Miami was winning games last season off of the back of their defense, not their offense. The offensive production for Miami wasn't great, and they had a defensive head coach there that was like, they were just throwing cover zeros at teams. They were just blitzing nonstop and just throwing bodies at the quarterback and getting home effectively. And that's how they were winning games, is off of short field situations and really just taking advantage of the yards after the catch with short throws, short and intermediate throws to get the ball downfield. Now, Mike McDaniel coming in is obviously going to be a big help to Miami and their offensive production. I think that they're going to be really, really interesting long term. But I just look at Tyreek Hill because his options were Jets and Miami. Because the Chiefs had accepted the Jets offer and Miami's offer and basically said, Tyreek, you choose. And I think we lost out on this, not because Miami's a better team, not because Miami has a better quarterback, not because of anything other than the fact that Florida's taxes. The lack of Florida taxes won Tyreek over. I know this from a first person, like, I live in Florida. Not having to pay an income tax here, like a state income tax, is awesome. It's one of the best things about living here. It's one of the reasons why I never leave. When I was young, I had talked about going back to New York all of the time. And as you get older, you just realize it's just not worth it. Living in Florida is like awesome because it's like summer all the time. You don't have to deal with any like super harsh winters, and the fact that you get to keep your money when you make it. It's great. I don't blame Tyreek Hill for coming to Miami. The thing that sucks is that one, it's another team in the division, right? He's going to Miami. But it's just like, I don't see how Tyreek Hill chooses Tua over Zach. Zach has a bigger, more dynamic arm. He has that deep throw ability. The offensive line on the Jets is probably going to be a top 10 unit next year. Like, you chose Miami's bottom of the league offensive line. Even adding Teron Armstead and the players that they've added, I don't think that changes that offensive line that much. They still have holes there. And now you're looking at like Tua Tagovailoa, and it's just like your deep ball is out. Like, that's it. Unless you plan on being underthrown by like 10, 15 yards every time you go for a deep ball, you're done. Like, Tua doesn't have that arm. Now, the good thing is you're going to see a lot of things over the middle and jet sweeps and things like that, and that's something that Tyreek Hill does bring to the game. Again, it sucks because we lost him to Miami. Speaking specifically about Miami, I think this is a great pickup for them. I think Tyreek Hill is going to be an extra dynamic wide receiver in that wide receiver room. I think when you look at a 1-2 punch of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, that's insane. And they've got other wide receivers there that are really, really good as well. And you always benefit from pushing good wide receivers down the depth chart because you have to respect Tyreek Hill if you're a defense. You can't single cover him. You have to put a safety over the top of him, which is going to open up Jalen Waddle and Parker in those space to be more one-on-one. It's the it's that juju effect in in Pittsburgh when AB was there, right? You have to respect Antonio Brown, so Juju gets more one-on-one, freeing him up to get more yards. I think you're going to see a big production jump in Jalen Waddle because I said you got to respect Tyreek Hill, and I think you're going to see a lot of offensive production out of there. I don't think you're still going to see very many deep balls because, again, I just don't believe in Tua's arm to get that ball deep, but it's good for Miami. Now let's recap how this works out for the Jets. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Jets trade compensation, what they were willing to give up and what the Chiefs would have accepted is picks 35, 38, and 69. So that's our first and our second round pick and our third round pick. And the Jets would have received Tyreek Hill and the number 100 and the 103 pick. Now, I think that this would have been a great move for the Jets. We would have gotten a number one wide receiver. Yes, we would have given up our second and our third, but we would have gotten a pick back, and we would have gotten a fourth back. And we know that Joe Douglas believes in his ability in his day 2 and 3 picks to make things work. And so I wouldn't have a problem not picking in day 2 if that meant we got Tyreek Hill. Now, I think that this pivots the Jets draft situation massively and its free agent situation massively. I don't look at a single wide receiver that's available out in the market that the Jets can truly and realistically go after and bring in onto the team. I know a lot of people are going to bring up DK, but the report came out that DK and Seattle are working on an extension, and I don't know if DK would have ever gotten dealt to the Jets. Like, how do you if Joe Douglas calls you and you're Seattle, like, you just hang up the phone right after the Jamal Adams trade? You're just done. No, you fleeced us. We know you fleeced us. The league knows you fleeced us. You're not going to get a number one wide receiver from us now as well. So I don't think he was ever an option. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, I think this guarantees the fact that the Jets are taking a wide receiver at 10. I disagree. I was on board with the Jets taking Drake London at 10 up until this morning, up until this afternoon when this trade happened. I think that this confirms that we're going to go 4-10-35 is going to be edge, corner, safety. I think the Jets draft is going to look some iteration of Trayvon Walker or Jermaine Johnson at 4, Ahmad Gardner at 10, Jaquan Brisker at 35, and then your wide receiver at 38. At 38, you're still going to have your pick of really, really good wide receivers. Jahan Dotson will be available there. George Pickens will be available there. Christian Watson will be available there. John Mechie will be available there. Like, I don't think John Mechie's a second-round pick, but, like, maybe. Like, there's a lot of receivers that'll be available there in the second, and I think you just got to go with the San Francisco model. I was talking about the San Francisco model all offseason, which is, like, they don't really have very many receivers that are first-round picks. They have one wide receiver that's a first-round pick. They believe in offensive production by committee. Like, not just in the running back room, but also in the wide receiver room. So I look at it and I go, look at what we were able to do offensively with Elijah Moore and Corey Davis and Braxton Berrios while they were, like, being hurt and things like that. I think adding another second-round receiver is going to be really, really good for the Jets. And I think George Pickens is that pick. I think he's a fiery wide receiver. I think he gets really involved in the run game. He's a disrespectful blocker. He's a disrespectful player in the sense of, like, to the other team. Like, he does not care about you, and he's going to disrespect you and hurt you. And I think that you get a lot out of that from a player. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And ultimately, let's go Jets.